Hello and welcome to Black Crow Gaming. I am back after a 2-week somewhat sabbatical. I've come back to annoy everybody and show everyone my face, and I've even got a fancy background, which is super cool. I've got some feedback though. What's that about? I don't know where the feedback was coming from. Someone's phone was too close to the mic and it was just going into my ear, and I'm gonna blame Josh. Yeah, there's always something that goes wrong. I don't understand why it happens. It just always happens. Oh, thank you, Gingerbeard Ryan. Can you actually hear me? Because that would be great. Because if not, I'm going to run this back. Because that's a very typical Black Crow gaming thing to do, isn't it? Run the whole intro back, go right through the start, and just go with the flow. Just what? Actually, you know what? For the first time ever, Toby, it seems that they can't hear you.
We'll just face instead.
Let's try it this way. Now speak, boys.
Now speak. Yes, sir.
Oh, you didn't turn us up, you drongo!
Normally, I have it through desktop audio. That's how normally this works. Let's see if they can hear you now. Come on, boys. Let us
Can
know.
you hear us now?
Yeah.
Hello, hi.
In fact,
Well, Ryan thinks he can hear us, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. Well, happy days then. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
yeah, I'll take Ryan. Ryan is God. Ryan can be everything. Right. Anyway.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Well, now we can hear. Well, Sam, you know what? I'm glad you can finally hear. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, I'm back after a 2-week sabbatical. I needed a bit of a break, and I've come back raring to go, and we've come back with actually a pretty special announcement. So you're probably wondering, why the hell is Toby looking so busy in the background? What is going on? And there's a very special reason why he looks so busy in the background. It's because tonight we are announcing the first ever Black Crow Gaming giveaway. Now, we're very excited to announce this. It's something that we've been talking about for a while. And we had a chat with our sponsor, and they have very kindly decided that they would give us something towards this giveaway. So you're probably wondering, what's the giveaway? And well, we've shown a lot of ads for Terrain Forge recently, some of which you see, and we have the nice music going in the background. We're going to play this for you again, and you're going to see a beautiful set of terrain. And where are we? So tonight, after Toby's sexy shimmy, I don't know where else we can go from that really. Anyway, the giveaway. So, as you saw, that is our very own Black Crow terrain that we use for all of our battle reports. We love it. Josh loves it. Sam loves it. So our giveaway is basically Terrain Forge is going to give away one of those sets. And I'm going to pass you over to Sam now. He's going to tell you a little bit why we're doing that. So here it is. Here's the rules, people.
So we thought we'd give away one of these terrain sets to share with everyone that's supported us so far on this journey. And after practicing on this GT terrain myself many times, I think it's such a great thing that we can give away, especially with tournament practice being so key. So this is just to give back to the community so far and everybody that has helped us get to where we are now.
Yes, Ryan. This is indeed It was the whole set, so a whole GT spec table pack set is up for grabs.
Woo!
Okay, that was So Josh, you've been obviously using this set now for a couple months, right?
Since Christmas. So yeah, it's been good 4 months now.
And it's like the UKTC terrain, right? So if you want to just run people through that.
Yeah, so I mean, this terrain, like Sam said, we're doing this as a sort of a throwback to all you guys following us, and it's fantastic. Like, you guys have seen it, and if you haven't watched the battle reports, I urge you to go and watch them. You'll see the terrain in its full glory. It's fantastic. It's perfect for GT practice. It's got all the things you expect to see at most big events. You've got your area terrain built into it, so the ground floor, so it's nice and easy when you're playing your games, you know exactly where your ground floor is. It's all the good heights you expect from UKTC, glass hammer terrain. It's one of those, it's a really nice kit. Like, I put it together, I think it took me a few hours, but at the same time, everything just popped out of the sprues. It glues together really nicely, and then obviously Simon Cox did a great job painting ours. And you guys get the pleasure of painting your very own free set. So, I mean, I can't see what goes wrong with this.
And the plan is with the giveaway, folks, is we're going to run this for a month. So we've got a month for this to get out there, share it, tag your friends, subscribe to YouTube, all of that sort of jazz. We will then, in a month's time, we will pick someone at random, and depending on when you are located in the UK, you may even end up with me and Toby delivering it to your front door. I just love this.
You give me a little black fan as well.
So
I'll do my little sexy shimmy for you as we arrive.
Oh God.
So the plan is essentially Toby is now doing all of the Facebook posts, all of the Instagram posts. It's going everywhere now. This is your opportunity to get quite possibly one of the best sets of terrain that you're going to get in the market. I've got my own set at home. I love it, and I can't. It's completely free. So, road trip to Devon, lad. Well, Ryan, maybe we'll have to leave that to Josh to deliver.
You wouldn't want this beautiful face in their front room, eh?
I can also very excitedly now say that all of the posts are live. So head over to our Black Crow Facebook and our Black Crow Instagram, and you can start sharing, liking, following. And for a bonus entry, you can also tag 3 friends in either of the posts. Tagging them in either of the posts does count as an additional entry. We'll be tallying up all your entries, and then we'll be, as Arron has said, announcing it live on the podcast,
which is very exciting. The funny thing is, Toby, what we'll do, we'll do this. It'll be some random YouTuber's name or whatever who's subscribed to us in the last. It'll be, I don't know, backdoor entry 66 or something along those lines.
How did you get my Grindr username?
Oh well, Sam told me, and
Whoa! That's a secret.
It's okay. It's okay. But essentially, it's good. We know it could be tricky to find you guys. However, we will be reaching out. We 100% are giving this away, and this isn't the first giveaway we're going to do either, is it, Josh? We've got more planned in the future.
Absolutely not. I'm in touch with a local gaming store, which is very interested in doing a further giveaway later on in the year. So keep your eyes peeled for that one.
So moving on, we've got this up at the minute. We're talking about the giveaway, but you'll also notice in our review we want to talk about list reviews. So we decided that we would get free lists that 3 of us have been looking at. 2 of which are actually currently being purchased, built, collected. Now, I collect custodies. That is my first love. That is what I take to tournaments. However, recently I have decided that I'm coming to acquire eventually a rather large Necron army. So me and Toby. Yeah, maybe.
Like you're rich come for you, Josh. Rich.
Yeah, really. So me and Toby have kind of been talking about this together, and we decided that actually in the meta currently, probably the most powerful thing in the meta right now is the use of infiltration. And infiltrators, if you don't know what that is, it is an ability that allows you to deploy in no man's land, anywhere like 9 inches away from the enemy. Extremely powerful, because that means you can essentially go forward and take a full part of the board without much argument. It means you can hide behind tactical pieces of terrain, like our crow terrain. You can place your models exactly where you need to be, and then if you win first turn, you're in a real strong tactical position to do whatever you want. And yes, Ryan, you're right, Scouts is very good, but it doesn't give you quite the freedom that Infiltrate does. So, without further ado, here is the Canoptic Boogie. So, the Necron list you can see here is something that I've been playing around with. So, I've got a Chronomancer to go in with the Immortals, to give them that move, shoot, move. I've got the Low-Cost Lord, Res Orb, and Staff of Light. I've got a Technomancer with the Hyperphasic Fulgrim, and I've got another Technomancer with the Auto Divinator. So, why have I come up with this? You'll notice the unusual thing there is 3 units of 6 Canoptic Acanthrites. So obviously I'm in Canoptic Court. So the whole point of Canoptic Court is very similar to that. If you know about the AdMech, they have like their deployment zone shenanigans, where if you're in a deployment zone, this happens, and then as they move forward, the deployment zone aura grows. So the Canoptic Core the Canoptic Core, essentially, you have this aura where if you're in the aura, so it starts with your deployment zone, you get rerolls to hit, or rerolls of wands, for example. As that grows, it depends on how many objectives you hold. So my idea is, well, what if I have 3 units of infiltrating blobs that just go sit on objective straight away, and then I just increase quite massively my area. So it means then straight from the off, I've got half the board which I'm re-rolling to hits for. Quite strong. Toby absolutely loves the Canoptic Court Canoptic Acanthrites. He's nodding his head, loving on it. Go on, Toby. Tell him why you convinced me that these are good.
Yeah, I mean, well, first things first. It's from seeing them in Josh Roberts' list. Obviously, from when he sort of sent me to the devil rather convincingly at Northampton. But he then recently went 685 out of a possible 700 points and won Manchester GT. He's only playing the 4 of them, but I just think they're so powerful with their their infiltrators that also just happen to have melters. So they'll take out any other infiltrating or scouting units going forward. But the ability to just pin your opponent in their deployment zone, they do die quite quickly, but they'll self-repair. You can loan op them. There's lots of different options on how you can get a lot out of that particular unit. So I'm really excited to see how they do. I've said that I think they would see a lot more play if they weren't very expensive on Forge World. So I think they're a bit of a sleeper unit that people maybe haven't seen. So potentially it's also something that might catch people out. So I think something to really keep an eye on.
18 of them as well in this list. 18, and people are like, well, how are you getting a hold of them if they're so expensive? Well, YouTube printers go brr. 3D printers go brr, and we're very lucky that
Devil Brush Paint.
Sorry, what was that?
Chris's Devil Brush painting goes burr.
Yes. So we're very lucky that we're affiliated with a very nice man, Chris, at Double Brush Painting, who does a lot of our 3D printing for us. I mean, Sam's not convinced, but me and Sam have got a tabletop simulator date coming up, and we're gonna see how that goes. Next in the list is I've got 2 Canoptic Doomstalkers. We've then got 2x6 Canoptic Wraiths, which you're pretty much seeing in every Necron list in some way. 6 Low-Cost Destroyers, which no one's going to be shocked by, and then 3x1 Low-Cost Heavy Destroyers. This is the list in a nutshell. I really like it. It is absolutely rapid. Everything on there is super quick, and it's just the type of 40k I like to play is fast-moving army. But my only hesitation is, does it hit hard enough? What do we think, Hive Mind? guys, Sam, Josh, what do you think? Do you think it's got enough punch?
Does it need to?
I have to admit, I don't know enough about that unit. What's their toughness and save like?
3+ save, T5, 2 wounds, OC2. They've got strength 5, AP2, 1 damage, close combat attacks as well. They are, admittedly, the Canoptics hitting on 4s, but when you're in Canoptic Court, you're re-rolling hits.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think we're going to play very much like Marines, where you're going to spend a lot of your time gunning down units and then you're going to charge them to finish. I think you'll struggle slightly with armies that can close the distance and get you into combat, but there's always going to be a weakness in the list. But it's just
I think it's stat checky, isn't it? I mean, in our group chats recently, we've been talking a lot about infiltrating, scout, and stealth, and goodness knows what. And I think it's definitely a list that's worth a tryout on. I think there is going to be some hard matchups for it. But then again, if you play it enough and you learn what those matchups are, then maybe you won't be infiltrating 18 of them at the start of the game, and you'll be using them in a different manner. So, yeah, it's a playtest list. It's definitely out there. I always love a skew list that's a bit different. So, give it a go, man, and see what happens.
Well, I think there's only one way to do it, really. You've got to test play. And when you've recently, obviously, you're doing your How to Play 40k series, which if you haven't had a chance to see, go over onto our YouTube channel. It's doing really well so far, and just tell us a little bit about that How to Play, Josh, just so people who watch the podcast who haven't caught it yet, tell them what the first episode holds.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, it's something that we've been kind of excited to do for a little while. I mean, it's completely free. All we ask you is to subscribe to the channel. And it's kind of Simonized insight on how we go about playing this game. So it has got a lot of the community aspect to it, but the first episode, we're talking about list building. So it's all about how we go about building a list to go to an event. So whether it's your first ever event or you've been playing for a long time and you're a bit stuck with how to build lists in 10th, because 10th is so different from 9th edition. We give you our ideas and our feedback on what we think will help you build a list going forward. And then not just that, we also talk about, once you have a sort of a core of a list of, then how do you build that list to tech into other armies? How do you start learning about other armies that you might be facing and how your list works against them? So, yeah, we go into it. It's only about half an hour. That's episode 1. We've got another episode in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to be talking mission play, going through the cards, reading the cards, making sure you understand them before games. And then, we've got more episodes coming in the future. So we're really excited about it.
And I think considering these how-to play, there's a few out there, aren't they? But some of them obviously, unfortunately, live behind a bit of a paywall. We're giving this out from experienced players who have won tournaments, podium tournaments, and we're giving this out for free, so people can just see how you go about and how you've learned your craft in this game. Because it is a craft.
Getting someone's psyche, baby.
knowing what they're thinking. So we're going to move on to the next list after the Canoptic Boogie, and this is, sorry Toby, but this one is my favourite, and it's called the Recruit Hunting Pack. So Josh, would you like to talk us through the list?
Yeah, so this is a Simon and I's little recent brainchild, which again actually plays really well into our first episode of the new series about list building, because we picked up the codex. We've been talking about, we'd do a suit list, we'd do this. And then I was like flicking through this Recruit Hunting Pack list, and I'm like, there's something here to be had. Everyone's kind of sleeping on it a little bit at the moment. I still don't know how good this list is, don't get me wrong. Like, this hasn't been play tested. This is literally just a brainchild. We're going to be running something very similar to this against Chris from Vanguard Tactics this week, which should be on the battle reports on Sunday. So we're excited about that. So you will get to see it firsthand. Now, this list, we've got the Trail Shaper in there so I'm just going to double check because I can't fully see that screen. Getting old. So yeah, we've got the Trail Shaper in there. He's got the enhancement for Nomadic Hunter, which I believe that one is basically gives me like a 12-inch deep strike denial, which is great. So a massive 20-man blob, you stick in there as well. Nothing's coming into a deployment line. 2 War Shapers, one of them with the enhancement, so you get +3 inches to your move, and all their weapons become assault. Now, they're all attached to a carnivore unit, but they all have scout abilities and they all have stealth. So you've got 20-man blobs. They can scout 7 inches with assault and they move 7 inches. One squad's moving 10 inches. So, like we were saying earlier, they're on the mid-board by turn 1, easily. You then got the Fast Stalkers in there, which have infiltrate anyway. So you've got 10 Fast Stalkers, 2 Hounds in that unit. They can literally just drop in wherever you want, whether you want to just literally screen out a unit or drop them in on an objective or hide behind a building, which is really great. And then you've also got the suits as well. So we put 2 units of stealth suits in there. Again, infiltrate, stealth, -1 to hit. So most of this list is either scouting, infiltrating, or it has -1 to hit on ranged attacks. And because we're under the Crew Hunting Pack, they get a 5-up invulnerable save against shooting and a 6-up in combat. And then the whole Crew detachment units, they all get +1 to hit if a unit's been, damaged or lost a model. And then when they're below half strength, they get +1 to wound. Don't get me wrong, this list is built off of kind of stuff we've got full access to right now. The Lone Spears look amazing, but we don't have a model for that yet. So we've then gone for 2 Sky Rays because we need some anti-tank in there. As much as 40 attacks coming off a unit of carnivores it's still only like strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. It's not super powerful, and they're normally hitting on 4s unless the unit's damaged. So they're in there for a bit of anti-tank. You've then got a unit of Tetras just because, well, again, they're 14-inch moving units that just run around at T7 with 7 wounds, and they're really good at spotting if they need to. For the crisis suits, which getting onto those, we've got 2 units of fire knives in there. They basically got the fusion, the melters effectively, and the missile pods. So again, they're just dropping in, deep striking whatever they need to do, and just kind of blasting stuff to death, really. And then what I found, and I've used these guys before, is the Vespid. Now, everyone is saying, oh, don't take them, they're too expensive, they're crap, don't bother. They're a unit that basically are like mandrakes. Every turn, at the end of your opponent's turn, like Grey Knights, you pick them up and redeploy them. So they're a 25mm base 5-man unit that you can just pick up and just drop somewhere and score behind enemy lines or whatever you want. So that is the list. It's not overly complicated. It is a lot of models, but it's one of those lists where you just shove it down people's throats and go, if you can't deal with this, I'm just going to overwhelm you. And then for 2 CP, you can bring back entire crew infantry units when they get destroyed. So you can just keep recycling them. So that's all it does. It's a really in-your-face list.
Where does the damage come from?
So as I say, I mean, the carnivores, I mean, they will just flood stuff and they will eventually punch things into the floor. But you've got the Sky Rays and the Crisis Suits in there, which kind of do like the armor damage. And then there's so much scoring in this list that I can't imagine you're ever going to score less than 70 points, even when you're done. It's a case of, can you score fast enough?
And how much of this list do you have ready to play against Chris, which will be airing that video next Sunday?
Yeah, so I've got a slight variation on this list at the moment for Chris because we don't have the Sky Rays at the moment. So we're actually going to be running 80 crew against Chris on Wednesday.
I love that. More bodies to choose through.
Yeah, so
it's absolutely wild.
Well, fair play to Simon. I mean, he's painted 93 models in less than a week. So I've got a lot of respect for him. I think his eyes have just gone cross now, like he can't see anymore. But
That's why
He'll
he's not
recover,
here
he'll be
tonight.
alright.
He can't handle it.
Yeah.
He's poor bugger's broken. The Tau crew have broken him. So that's what we've got to look forward to. So if you want to catch our next battle rep, that's going to be coming up on Sunday. Like we said, that's got VT Chris coming in. He's coming to join us on Wednesday for recording. Is that right, Josh? Wednesday he's recording with you?
Yeah, he's recording with us Wednesday night. I'll let you guys behind the Iron Curtain. We don't film on a Sunday. We film on a Wednesday normally. So yeah, he'll be here on Wednesday.
And I'm sure it's going to be a wild battle report.
It's going to get spicy.
And we're all looking forward to that. Toby, are you ready for us to look at your list?
I certainly am. If you've seen that I've been a bit distracted, it is purely because I'm taking down everyone's entries in a spreadsheet so that we can keep a track of who's entering and when, just in case they're doing it on Instagram and it disappears in the 24 hours. But yes, let's talk about some smelly boys.
So we'll just do one more quick run through. So if you haven't caught in, we are doing a giveaway. It's the Black Crow giveaway with our sponsor Terrain Forge, who is in the description below. You can get a full GT Spec table pack for free by doing the following: find us on Instagram, like us on YouTube, all of those things. And in a month's time, once Toby is broken from spreadsheet love, we will tell you live on the podcast who has won, and potentially we'll be delivering this to you in person. Anyway, next we have your list, Toby, which isn't actually your list. I was like, oh, Toby's got come back with a sauce.
He's actually thought about something, but he hasn't.
So then I got sent this, and I was like, okay.
Right, okay. Before we do any more horrendous slander, this is partly because I've got a GT coming up this weekend, and I'm hoping to perform quite well in it. And it's a very, very competitive GT. It's some absolutely class players are going to be there, so very, very excited for that. Sorry, class players and Dom from Mind Goblins, if he's there as well, I guess. So I wanted to talk through a slightly different list, which we did touch on actually last week when we had Luke on, which was a Death Guard list, and it was a triple carnivore list. Now, what I was quite surprised at was how in your face this Death Guard list could be. So it's got three, well, I mean, including the rhinos, technically it's sort of 9 units that go at some pace, then plus scouting units as well, and obviously a little bit of infiltrate from the Nurglings. So essentially what you're doing is you're abusing the grenade stratagem because it's a bloody brilliant source of mortal wounds. And then what I think the player was doing, who went 4-1 at Manchester, was reducing armor save, getting rhinos quickly up in their face, and then using those predators to effectively give them -3 AP against infantry. So -3 AP, 3 damage weapon, strength 9, with then 2 las cannons on the side as well, which handles a lot of those problems the Death Guard have had with dealing with those larger targets. And then they've also got those war dogs to charge in, do lots of damage in combat, and then they could tank shock to get those extra mortal wounds. So you could quite easily spit out, well, maybe on average 12 mortal wounds a turn just from 2 CP. So that's starting to get pretty tasty. And then we know that Plague Marines are really good. We know that they're efficient, they're cheap, they're good at holding objectives, the sticky objectives. It's really, really tasty. And then obviously actually Typhus as well, spitting out those mortal wounds. It's just so powerful to be able to do that. And then Plague Marines for some reason just get so many special weapons. They're a real threat. I mean, if anyone's seen our lovely Ray Harkins, who is I think he's still the top ranked Death Guard player in the country. I can't remember. He's in the top 3. He always lives and dies by Plague Marines. They're absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this was my little list. And And I must admit, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Death Guard at the moment. I'm not going to be switching away from my Dark Angels.
Which aren't
Not
Dark
a chance.
Angels.
No, my Dark Iron Salamanders, as I've sort of dubbed them, because it's technically Firestorm playing Azrael with 5 vehicles in it. So might be a little bit of a combination of all the chapters together.
Yeah, it sounds really Death Angel-y.
Technically, I guess we could say it's Raven Guard as well, because I've got jump packs and then 15 scouts and some infiltrators in there and a Phobos librarian. So
No.
it's a little bit Raven Guardy as well. But yeah,
Sounds like the unwanted child.
sorry.
Sounds like the unwanted child.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, to be fair, that sort of sums up the way that I play of just all sorts of nonsense. But yeah, I going back to this Death Guard list. I think it's a really interesting one that they've also. Typhus is just kind of dropping in on his own, spitting out those mortal wounds, demanding an answer. Otherwise, he spits out even more mortal wounds. Foul Blightspawn to give fights first, all that kind of thing, and has a really nasty flamer. But it's that switching ability for Death Guard to get in the face quickly and sort of start efficiently mowing through your opponent. And I'm really glad to start seeing Predator Destructors seeing a heck of a lot more play. What do you guys think about that?
They've just kind of come out of nowhere. Like, I haven't actually faced them yet, but I haven't faced Death Guard in a long time at a tournament. I seem to be avoiding them. Give us a rundown, Toby, for those that don't know exactly what the Death Guard Predator Destructor does.
Yeah, so Death Guard Predator Destructor, it's got the auto cannon, which is 4 shots rapid fire for strength 9, AP -1, which is its fall down, and damage 3. Then it's got, usually, if it's outfitted, it's got 2 las cannons. It's got a hunter killer missile and then a storm bolter. But obviously, 2 las cannons is pretty tasty in terms of anti-tank. Then it's an innate ability. Is when it targets infantry, it gets an additional pip of AP on its autocannon. And then in the Death Guard detachment, in this particular one, you can give it an addition. Well, one of them, you can give an additional pip of AP from a stratagem. And then you can also worsen your opponent's save, their armor save, by 1 when they're in contagion range. And with a list this quick, it's usually probably quite easy to do that. So it's a quick list, but those predators can do a heck of a lot of damage for 130 points.
I mean, it definitely sounds like it. It's interesting. There's a lot of synergy that's involved in this list, and I can see why you like it. So when we're reviewing these lists, one thing I asked Toby to do, I was like, Toby, I want you to do your head on an Emperor, because it's going to be Emperor Toby Cert. So we're going to go through where we go through the list and we think which is the list that we think's the best. Now, I was really keen on this Death Guard list, Toby, until you told me that it wasn't wholly yours. So I'm going to take that away. The list that I think probably deserves it is the Crew Hunting Pack list. Now, Hobbs has asked for this to come back up in the chat. We're going to bring that up. There you go, Hobbs. That is who we'll just say big congratulations as well, Hobbs, for your win at your GT this weekend. Was it Factotum you were at? Is that the tournament?
Factorum.
There you go, Factorum. Well, congratulations on your GT win. This is the list that is going against VT Chris or Chris Undivided, as he's now known.
Chris Undivided.
This is the list that he's going to be facing, and we have. Is everybody ready?
Well, it's actually not quite that list because we haven't got it ready in time, but it's similar.
This has been Emperor Toby certified.
Yes! Son, we're proud.
Does that mean the crew are now the good guys?
The crew were always the good guys.
No, they're not.
The crew are adorable.
No, you can't be angry at a mercenary, okay?
Yes, you can.
Pretty sure Hobbs hates Crew as well.
There's a brilliant moment in one of the Caiaphas Cain books where a Kroot just comes up and is like, "Oh, hi, I'm a Kroot," and Cain just goes, "I know some of you lot killed my parents," and it's like,
Probably ate them as well.
okay, fair enough."
Yeah, probably ate them as well, to be fair.
Well,
They always do. They love a good munch.
Well, you know what? The Emperor protects, and it's all for the greater good.
Protection from a good little
It's always for the greater good.
For the greater good. No, I gotta admit, this is going to be a very cool list. I think a lot of people when they build lists with the new Kroot coming out, they're like, "Oh man, what if I had like 100 Kroot?" And you're, Josh, just gonna go and make all these people dreams come true, show them just how good or how bad it is when you go into
this is the thing. It's completely untested. We don't know what the final points are going to be. It is really just let's just find out what it does and see if it sticks or not. It's completely untested. We'll find out. You know, I've just put some spicy stuff in there and just gone, here, have all the Kroot and see how many we can regenerate.
One thing that I'm quite excited for from this is I think this list is very reminiscent of the recent AdMech lists. They're actually starting to perform a little bit better. The ones that just go, right, I'm going to dump all of this on objectives. I'm going to pin you back in your deployment zone, and then I'm going to go, what are you going to do? And just outscore you in primary. So I think that's potentially a very exciting version. Is it as good as the AdMech? We'll see if those support elements elevate it. I actually really like the Sky Rays. I'm excited to see them added in.
They're fucking awesome. They were in the index as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Sky Rays seem to have come out of nowhere a little bit, I've got to say, with the Sky Rays. We've seen quite a few of them in the States, but now they're sort of starting to get across into UKTC terrain. I think it was a Sky Ray list that won Adepticon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't remember, to be honest. So I was just looking at the messages. James, you're right. Same with Sam. I'll be honest with you, this list isn't as refined as I want it to be. I do want hounds in there. I actually want rampages in there. But again, to put it on stream, I haven't got those models readily accessible at the moment. So it's something that we're going to do this as a platform. And then we can, if you watch the How to Play 40k episode, I talk through it. Like, we start with a basic platform and then we'll just start adding to it over games. So it's really, that's all it is. And then we can build the list from there.
We just want more dogs. That's what it is.
Love a hound.
I can't wait to see how you do with this. But there you go, everybody. It's Emperor Toby certified. This is going to be a reoccurring thing. If you would like us to go through your lists, which we would love you to do, all you need to do is post them in either our Discord, which is in the link below, or send them to us on Facebook, or post it on our Black Crow wall on our Facebook page, or even message it to Toby, who manages our Instagram on Black Crow Instagram. Send us your lists. We will go through them. Any that we find that we think are particularly spicy could come and get a Emperor Toby certificate, or, well, certified quality, live on stream. So if you want us to have a look at all of these lists, go and send them through to us, and you'll get a really cool backdrop like I've done for the crew and the Death Guard and the Necrons, and then potentially, if your list is good enough, we'll give you certified quality Emperor Toby sticker.
Bonus points for a great list.
Send it in the post, prepaid.
Obviously, if you've got a good name, that helps.
A good list name.
It needs a good
list name. The better the name, the more likely it is to be featured.
That's definitely become a team habit now of just who can come up with the stupidest names for event lists. It's become a bit of a competition amongst the crows.
I think my minor claim to fame was that when I actually got mentioned in a Meta Monday article, and Goonhammer it was actually, and then Tactical Tours just talked about my list on stream, I'd called it I play Dark Angels because I think the line is a DILF.
I mean, okay.
I've never cringed so hard to hear a man announce that and see that it's my name next to it. And I was like, it's the one time I do. Well, actually, to be fair, this week I think it's called "Why Is the Lion So Terribly Dilfy?" So
Oh, God, they're getting worse.
I know. I know. It's just going to get progressively.
You know, we literally.
just,
So for our viewers, Toby loves these names, but we also had to rein him in this morning. He was about to set up the Black Crow Gaming OnlyFans account, and we were like, "Lit, we've gone on enough now. We'll get some fresh footage when we're with Chris and Jake in Oxford. We'll post the fresh footage then, but for now, we'll leave the Marvin Gaye alone."
I thought that was beautifully timed. I mean, honestly, I this mad scheme that I had. I messaged Ali Hill, who sort of leads our Devon chapter, and said, "Ali, I need a photo of you topless," and he just went, "I got you, bro." And just without a second thought, Ali's boobs were out immediately, and he was sending them over.
Ali has a portfolio of topless pictures. It's not a problem for him.
He literally does. He was like, "Here's one of me extra shredded. Here's one of me slightly less shredded."
I was just very
Angles, fighting.
it just came into the YouTube chat, and we were just like, "Toby, no."
I put it in and was like, "Don't mind me, not doing anything."
And then the next thing I know, I'm speaking to Chris, Vanguard Tactics Chris, or Undivided, and he's like, "Look, I'm not doing anything for you unless that OnlyFans post comes back up." And then I instantly come back into the chat to Toby. I was like, "Toby, why am I being blackmailed?"
Oh,
Do you care to
dear.
explain this one?
I do remember.
Maybe we went full thirst trap in some of those pictures, though. I'll tell you.
There was, I think the Facebook one had the photo that actually, because we're currently going to get stuck in with Fit for 40k as well, and I think Sam, you sent me a selfie when you were in the gym.
Yeah, right after I'd finished squatting before I deadlifted, I was not happy. I was not a happy man.
And it was like, that one has to go in. So I don't think we actually ended up doing anything really for April Fool's Day today. And the giveaway is not an April Fool's. Just to be very clear, it's not an April Fool's.
It's after 12 o'clock, it's fine.
Exactly. I did manage to get quite a few people by saying that I was moving to New Zealand, to which, again, Chris Undivided responded, "Good riddance." So cheers, Chris. Love you, bro. But
At which point did your girlfriend say, "Thank God"?
I messaged her. I literally messaged her and went, "Babe, I don't want to even give you a moment of panic." And yeah, to be fair, she'd probably be quite happy to be sick of me. Like, "Yep, you go live the other side of the pond."
We all started celebrating.
I know. Honestly, my dad said exactly that. He was like, "Oh, thank God, we'll get rid of you." And I was like, "Brilliant, cheers, Dad."
The problem is the goodbye banner is non-refundable, so I've just stuck with that now.
That's me getting kicked out the team and joining Crack Blow Gaming.
Crack blow game.
Yeah. So, oh no, we did have we got a couple of people in the Norwich chat this morning where I put in that Harud were going to be the new Xeno faction, but they weren't called Harud, they were called Sukon. And a couple of our guys, Sam and Tony, fell for it and were like, "Oh my God, tell us more." And I was like, "Oh yeah, suck on these nuts," because I'm a child. And we then had several very angry people going, "Right, who's kicking Toby out the group?"
Yeah. So
And
then the poll
Go on,
started, didn't they? And then the poll was basically because Toby had been naughty, and he'd been naughty in the morning as well with trying to post this OnlyFans thing. So what is your
I didn't
forfeit,
try,
Toby?
I did.
What is your forfeit?
I have to play possibly the worst Space Marine list I think I've ever seen. I think the guys are going through if they have a fire strike turret, if it's triple Hammerthal bunker, if they're just going to make me play Terminator spam and the Lion. But I'm going to have to play the worst list ever, and so that I don't bring my Black Crow score down, I'm going to have to enter as Crack Blow Gaming, which also means that I could then pull you guys round one.
And if we have these models, Toby, which tournament is it that you're going to have to play them at?
I'm not doing it at Oxford. Don't even. No. It will be
I'm just
one of
saying.
the.
It's either
No, it'll
that
be
or
one
the
of
ITT.
GT.
Which one do you want?
No. I'm in team one for that. I'm taking that serious. No, it will probably be one of the local RTTs that I'll do. It might be either an EAGT RTT, or it will be a Langdon Games one. I think big rep for them, by the way. Great tournaments. Some idiot came second last time, but we can ignore that.
Hey,
But
fuck you,
yeah,
I
it
came
was-
third.
When'd you go?
Sam Dickinson came second.
Sam Kiss. Oh no! You're talking about Langdon.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about
Oh,
EAGT.
Yeah, I was talking about EAGT. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Sam Wanker came second.
Yeah, no, I was. Don't worry, I was insulting myself. I wouldn't insult Sam like that. It just because he bullied me at the last Peterborough Slam. But yeah, no, that was. I will play a terrible list at some point to atone for my sins. But do people want to see what kind of list do people actually want to see?
I think you should borrow the list that Warwick recently took. So one of our new crows, Warwick, he brought Imperial agents and a massive knight. What's the knight called? Is it the
Canisarian?
Which
Castellan?
one? No,
It was
The Thorium or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it was the named knight.
okay. He brought that, and well, the list sucked, and
It was the RBTs, like it was RBTs and Inquisitorial henchmen trying to beat down. First off, Darren's legitimately incredible Drakari list. That was his first round, the poor bastard.
Didn't he win though his second game?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He definitely got a win. He definitely got a
I
win.
mean, he definitely got a win, I think.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not sure. Warwick, you'll have to let us know. I've been chatting to him about his guard. Now he's joined the dark side and he's playing some horrible indirect guard list, and it's absolutely disgusting. Although actually he just got bodied by Admech, which was very interesting, by that list that pins you in your deployment zone.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got I don't know which one it is, but they've got a redeploy as well, so they can redeploy 3 units after pinning you back. So if they go second, they just go, cool, I'm just going to pick up all my models, and you don't get to shoot them this turn. So yeah, no, they're really tasty. No, I'm not Hobbs. I'm not playing Tau. I wouldn't even sink that low. Come on.
Oh my god, the list he has posted is absolutely terrible.
Oh yeah, no, that is interesting. Oh, maybe I should play guard just with Aegis defense walls.
To be fair, James, I think what that list is really good for is you'll be at the bar within about 45 minutes.
That is true. Yeah, I need to take it to a tournament that has a bar.
That's some small victories right there. Hobbs, let's get you on a battle report, and you can bring that list to come up against either Josh or Simon, and we'll get Sam with.
I'll bring something equally as bad. It's fine. We'll just do a really shit battle report one day with
Bring the
worst
Warhound
unit.
Titan with the Scout Sentinel, Sam.
Oh god, the chicken list again.
Sam, just bring your normal list because your dice are so bad, mate. That'll be
The normal list is alright, the dice are terrible.
This is the man who makes mistakes and can't roll 2-ups.
Never seen so many ones, and I've used so many different sets of dice. There's nothing I do.
I could play Oops All 0 OC as Hub says. That would be quite funny.
I mean, you definitely wouldn't be scoring any primary.
I don't know if if there's any lists that I could find.
6 units of 9 Nurgling.
Yeah, then maybe do. I don't know what else is in there
You take
for
your token character
demons.
with the Nurglings, and then get the character killed like turn 1, and then just run Nurgling spam.
Well, I kind of want it because Nurglings are actually, that's not horrendous.
Well, apart from you getting no primary, but you might do really well in secondary.
Well, this is the thing because they still got so much secondary play, and they just stop you doing things. Like this is a legitimate thing where I might just take Nurglings and like pink horrors, and that's a list right there, my friends.
Oh god.
Well, yeah, I mean, the horrors are okay though. To be fair, like you just
Exactly.
be spitting out new ones every 2 minutes.
Well, this is the thing. I'd actually be interested to see. Maybe this can be my list submission for next week. But like, loads of Nurglings, blue horrors for infiltrate as well. Then loads of pinks.
One
Then
mistake.
maybe some. Well, yeah, we could get some.
I tell you what, just take Be'lakor for the shits and gigs, because one is shit, but two, you can make them invisible outside of 18.
I do have a very nice Be'lakor sitting there upstairs, and then just take Scarbrand just for the meme because I love Scarbrand, and he's cheaper than a Bloodthirster.
This is where we forget that you have demons, Toby, that you just never use.
I know it's because they suck.
But they
No,
don't suck.
demons don't suck. My demons suck because I have a full Khorne army.
I feel like the audience is just seeing the inner workings of the group chats now, just the shit we talk about.
Oh, it's terrible. I think recently the most entertaining, but also the most tactically incisive, has been our ITT chat, Josh, because you get so much nonsense coming up and so much stupidity. But like then suddenly someone will be like, "Here's a brilliant idea." And we'll be like, oh, that's actually that. Ooh, that's
That actually work.
yeah.
We're not planning. See, in our ITT one in our team, we're not planning anything until we've got all the codexes. You guys are just going too premature, and then you're all going to freak out. Toby's going to have an aneurysm like a week before because
You
all
say
of the
that. I've not even picked a faction yet.
That's because you've got like 15 of them sat on your shelves in the
In the old crow's nest.
nest. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I think at this point we are literally just chatting a bunch of bollocks, and as much as we could do this all night, I think we need to start rounding it up. So, at the start of the night, we talked about our giveaway. As you can see on there, all you need to do is like a post, which is on Facebook or Instagram, share it, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, and you will cause Toby to have some form of mental breakdown, because he's going to be tracking this all on an Excel spreadsheet. In a month's time, we will live on the podcast announce who is the winner of this massive terrain set. So if you're wondering, does this cover the whole board? Yes, it does. Yes, it does cover the whole board.
Good.
It is amazing.
It's great tournament practice terrain, really is.
It is arguably the best terrain out there. But Terrain Forge doesn't just do UKTC style terrain. He has his own WTC line, which, Ollie, if you're watching, me and Josh would like a set. And he also does that. He's got some mats coming very soon, which will have all of the deployment zones printed on them. So all these deployment zones will make your life so much easier when it comes to just playing games in general. And Terrain Forge, they've been an amazing sponsor. They've helped us out loads, and we just want to support them as best we can. And hopefully this drives up loads of interest in what they do. So if you're not lucky enough to win this table pack, you should totally check out in the description below. We have a little code which is BCG05. Is that right, Josh?
I believe so, yeah, off the top of my head.
It's some discount code that will give you a 5%
It's there
discount.
in the description.
It's in the description. Like I said, if you want to post lists to us so that we can review them, join our Discord, which is also in the description. Join the Discord, put it in there, come join the chat, join the community, get talking to us. But from us at Black Crow Gaming, we're going to be saying goodnight. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you, Toby, for sorting out the Excel spreadsheet and for losing that wonderful set of head of hair that you're probably going to end up not having by the end of it. You'll be looking more like me and Josh by the minute. Less ginger, more pale and bold. Anyway, from us at Black Crow Gaming, thank you very much. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.